Good morning, folks. This is Donnie with Standing Goats Rescue. I am at our property. I hunted this morning, didn't see anything. We got bad weather coming in about 2 hours from now, and it's supposed to rain for the next 4 days or 5 days. But anyhow, I'm going to be hunting later today. I got to go check my cameras right now. We've got a bunch of new bucks that have showed up on property, and it's the middle of the day, so I don't mind going into these thicker areas where I've had activity. Normally during the middle of the day, it's kind of quiet, and I hope it stays that way. Chris is on the way up here. He'll be here in about an hour, so I will not be alone while I'm hunting. We will be in separate stands, but I won't be by myself on the property. I just want to let you guys know right quick before I forget. My brother Danny, we've been, he'll text and email me, and we've talked several times, and he's an amazing guy. He's a lover of the Almighty God that created us, and he's a good man. But Danny got his YouTube channel started finally, and if you guys don't mind, please jump over there and support Danny. The name of his channel is Exploring Appalachia with Digger Dan, and he wants to try to build up to where he can get that 1,000 subscribers and turn it into a business. So please, if you don't mind, check him out. If I remember before I edit this video, I will locate his channel. I just got a text from him this morning, and I have not even pulled it up. There's no internet out here where I'm at. But if I remember, I'll pull up the channel, and I'll get the channel link, and I will put it in the description below this video. Hopefully it's there. Hopefully I remember to do that. But it is Exploring Appalachia with Digger Dan. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you guys would jump over and help him out and help him expand his family there on YouTube. And I'm sure he would absolutely appreciate it. But guys, I'm going to grab my stuff. I'm going to have the camera mounted on my chest so that I don't have to be so loud. The microphone on these cameras is located on the top. There's a small mic in the front. I think there's 3 mics, but the main microphone is on top. And when I have it mounted here on my chest, I don't have to be so loud, and it'll hear a whisper. It'll also hear my breathing, unfortunately, but it'll pick up when I'm not talking so loud. And now we're going to walk back. I've got a few cameras I need to check, see what's going on as far as deer activity, see what we got, so I know where I need to set up at this afternoon. But I'm going to bring you guys along with me as we do this. Just so that you know, our channel here, Standing Goats Rescue, and this video, as well as every video from this point forward, is sponsored by Brinyte, makers of some of the best handheld and headlamps you can get. They got a variety of different types of lighting sources. I do use Brinyte lights. I absolutely love them. I've got a string light at home, and I haven't used it since I got the Brinyte. I love this light. Let me grab it right here. This is the Artemis T28. It's got a selector, red, white, and green light on top, and I use this thing every day of the week. Whether I'm at home checking on the goats, or I'm out in the field hunting, hiking, or just exploring, I got this light with me. It's extremely bright. Battery lasts a long time in it, and you can control. There's a knob right here at the end. You can lower and raise the light intensity, the lumen, and you dial the end here. You twist it in and out to zoom out to where you got a huge beam of light, or zoom it in to where you've got a little focused point of light. It's just an amazing light. I've used it for several hours on many different times where I've been in the woods. I've never run it dead yet. I normally keep the power down real low. With a twist of this knob, I just turn the intensity of the beam down real low, and I can get several hours out of it. I don't know how many hours before it dies, but it's a lot, and I have not run it dead yet. I do recharge it when I get home, if I'm out in the field. Whenever I use it, if I use it more in about 30 or 40 minutes, then yes, I will recharge it. But anyhow, I just want to let everyone know, if you're interested in picking up a Brinyte light for yourself, I will provide their link in the description below this video, and I'm trying to remember to put it in every video. I did a review on this light recently. This is the Brinyte Artemis T28 right there, and it can be mounted on a firearm. It's got another cap, an end cap. You screw this end cap off, you screw the other one on. It's got a cord attached to it with a finger pad to mount on your firearm, to where you can control your light with your 3 fingers. And we got another one that I'm working on the review right now as we speak, that is a dedicated hunting light. That's also a jam up light. But anyhow, Standing Goats Rescue, sponsored by Brinyte. They partnered up with us, and just amazing people. Really, really good people. Good customer service. All around A+ outfit altogether. Let me grab my stuff together. We're going to get into the woods, go check some cameras. I want to do it now while the deer are bedded down resting. That way this evening when we go set up and they come out of their beds, we'll be ready for them. This right here is the 4-wheeler trail. We're going to eventually have a road around the perimeter of the property. We're trying to get it worked out to where we can get we had a survey done on this property. It was part of buying it, and all of that was included in the price of the property. But when they done the survey, they were supposed to have put survey markers up every 50 to 100 feet around the perimeter of the property, so that I could eventually fence it. But I was going to put some T-post. When they put our perimeter flags up, I was going to put T-post in the ground and then spray paint them fluorescent orange, and then come back with a string and run it from T-post to T-post, and then paint a purple band around the trees that are on the property line as a boundary marker for no trespassing. This is all planted pines. You can see how they're in rows, but the rows they're not straight. They go all different directions. If they were straight, it would be very simple to put a road around the property. But since they're not, you've got to cut a bunch of trees, and it's just too much for one person and a chainsaw. We're going to talk to the timber people and see what can be done. We don't want to cut all the trees, but maybe they can thin the trees out where they'll grow a little better and bigger. And if they're willing to do that, see if they could thin them out to where we can have a road around the perimeter. This type of pine tree, this is pulpwood trees. And if you go to sell them, you don't make much money on them at all. If you had, a couple 100 acres, you could probably do pretty good. But what we have here, we're not going to sell all of the trees off of it. I don't think we are. We may, depending on what happens with the activity from the big guys. If it gets crazy, then yeah, we're gonna let them come and take all of them. And we met with the county or the state people yesterday, and we got all the information we need about getting the fish and game and the fire department to come out and burn it, the underbrush and all, if we decide to go that route. They're calling it a prescribed burn. Got 2 cameras with me. I'm going to put one right here, I think. And right here, there's that scrape. I want to catch the buck that's doing that. Trying to see the best spot to put the camera. He's still hitting that scrape, which is a good thing. He's hit it pretty good. Looks probably yesterday afternoon. I'll put this camera right here. Yeah. I'm gonna mount this trail camera on this tree to see if we can catch this fella when he comes through. Sorry about that, I just bumped into the camera. This is one of them cheap cameras. Chris gave it to me. There we go. It's marked now. I'm going to go all the way to the back and check the camera, the cam part camera that is in front of my ladder stand. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that or not. Right through there, I just seen the tail of a deer, the white, looks like a handkerchief bouncing through the forest. When he's hopping off, his tail would be straight up, and the underside of a white-tailed deer is white, and it looks like a handkerchief bouncing through the forest. Just seen that right up through there, which makes sense because that's the main trail that crosses over there. It comes out of the bedding area on the adjacent property over there, and it crosses right through here and it goes to the creek. And all the trees that are down, jeez, they're dead. right now. So the bucks are being not so smart. The deer was right out there. Right up here to the left, there's another scrape I found a while back. I had a ground blind in that holly. Right here in this holly bush, I'm sitting up under it. I was watching this scrape, but he never come back to it. This is this trail right here. Let's see if he's started working this one over again yet. A lot of deer tracks. Yep, he's pawing at it. Right here. Oh, I smell it too. It smells like buck pee-pee. I had a camera I put on this tree right here, but I didn't get him. Doe poop. They've been coming up and going through here, and they had some more scrapes over here. And I took the camera off of that scrape after about 2 weeks, and I moved it over here. I didn't get no bucks on either scrape. Trail goes right here, and they use this trail. They use it hardcore. It's right here. This is the trail right here that they're taking. It goes that way. Got a scrape right there under the holly. There's a lot of activity down this trail. A lot of tracks. Yeah, they're certainly traveling this one. I don't remember where that scrape was in here. Oh, it was right here on this end. I don't see it. I think I went over too far. We gotta go back here. I don't remember where that other scrape was. I think it's further that way because we're almost to the shooting lane for the ladder stand. I think I've already passed the scrape. we're gonna go to there's a couple of big scrapes near the south end of the property. Oh, that's my trail. I was about to say, look at the daggum deer trail. This is my trail. I was about to panic. You guys, while I'm checking this camera over here, I'm not going to make you sit there and wait on me, because it'll take probably 10 minutes or so, depending on how many pictures and videos are on it. I sat in this stand here recently. We hunted during the day and didn't get anything. 15 minutes past the last legal shooting light, I'm sitting in the stand and a buck comes from over here, right beside the stand, 3 feet from the tree I'm in. He was playing. I had my muzzle loader hanging because I lowered it, and I went to my night vision, my pig gun, and he's bumping my muzzle loader, having it spinning and bumping against the tree. He walked all around out here, and I couldn't do nothing but watch him. And he was a good buck. He was one of the target bucks, but you can't shoot him past that 30 minutes after sunset, or you've committed a crime and they will get you for it. Alright, here is the camera I'm going to check. So you guys stand by just for a minute. Let me check this and I'll be right back with you. I've got the big 6-point, the middle size 6-point. I got a scrape right here, look at that. Right here. The ladder stands right there. That's probably that smaller 6-point. The scrapes I'm going to are right down here. We got, that night I was sitting in the blind and that buck came up. I thought it was the 5-point. I just checked because he walked in front of the camera while I was sitting there, and it was not. It was the big 6-point that we have on our harvest list. Deer to get harvested. He was right there within 3 feet of my ladder, and I couldn't shoot him because it was after hunting hours. But that's okay. As long as we hunt right and hunt ethically, the Lord will always bless us with more opportunities. You can be assured of that. Got another scrape. Here's another new one right here. So this trail's going right through there. Okay, that ain't the one I'm looking for there. What I'm looking for, I think it's under this holly or the next one we come to. Oh, there it is right there. Yeah, he's tearing that thing up. It's got him a rub right here where he's rubbing his horns. So I want to catch him. Oh, he's got another little scrape right there. There's another one just up from us, just a little ways. But I want to put the camera on this one. Got to position it. I want to catch him working that rub and see if I can get him on this scrape. That scrape, and get him on this rub. I wonder if I can put this little camera right here. Probably have to put it right there. This tree might be better. That may be out of range for the camera. This is a small camera. I think I'm gonna put it on this one. Get these vines out of here. Ow. Got me in my face. Okay. I think I can put this little camera right there. This is the Joe mini trail camera. Boy, that thing's been a good little camera. I didn't even check if it had a card in it. Yeah, it's got a card. Well, I'm glad it does. I didn't even check it. I need to put this down kind of low. My strap got tore up from a varmint. We had it at the property in Caryville. Oh, I hate to have it that low. Alright, I got it set. Aiming a little bit low, but I call it pure cane, trying to get it set. I'm gonna walk this way, but I don't want to walk in front of the camera because I got it set to capture videos. Yeah, it feels almost sickening out here right now. Right up here is this other scrape. Somewhere up here, if I remember where it's at. I'm not sure. I hate that these deer are working this close to this back road because these daggum poachers. Never noticed this until just now. There's a no trespassing sign on this dead oak tree, but it's up like 10 foot. I think it's a no trespassing sign. Got a buddy that we bought the property from. He didn't allow hunting on the property at all. Yep. No trespassing. It's got a bullet hole in it. Go figure. It's probably what killed the tree. That's thunder. Oh, there's deer in the road. What is that? Yes, I'm gonna look. It's way down there, but that's a 4-point. Really tall rack on him. But that's 300 yards maybe. He's right on the right side, right where the road starts to curve right there. I doubt the camera's going to pick that up. It doesn't pick up at 100 yards very well. But we're not interested in him. He's a baby. We don't do babies. Where is that other scrape? I Oh, I just seen another deer down there. But I was like, dadgummit. I'm walking around the woods playing and the deer on the move. What it is, we got the rut has started, and so your big bucks will push and push and push. They'll keep pushing the does until they just flat out have to collapse and rest. And they'll normally rest for about an hour, then they'll get up, they'll push a little bit, and then they'll rest for an hour. And they'll have one day where they're real sluggish because of chasing women all day. And then they get rested up and they're right back at it. But the little bucks, these young guys, they'll be going all day long. They'll walk right up to you. You can be sitting on the ground, and they'll walk right up to you, and they know that you're not normal, you're not supposed to be there. And they're so curious, they can't help it. And a lot of hunters, you have a lot of people doing it because they need the meat. And I absolutely understand that 100%. But you have a lot of hunters that they get several very big deer every year. Very seasoned hunters. But they come out and they're shooting these babies. And that I don't agree with. There's so many deer in the woods of North America, you don't have to kill babies. He's been rubbing on that tree again. I don't know where that other scrape is. Somehow I passed it. That's alright. I just wanting to show it to you. I ain't gonna do nothing with it today. I've got to go and check 2 more cameras. Ow. Oh, that one stabbed me. You guys that have been part of our family for a while, I don't know how to even word this that it doesn't sound wrong. I don't know how to even word it, but I'm just going to say it for what it is. A lot of you have noticed that high strangeness for some reason is attracted to me. It almost follows me everywhere that I go. There's a scrape right there. I've never asked for it. Oh, here's that other scrape. I don't know why. Wow, he's beat that out. All right, this buck is coming from the property behind us. He's got a lot of leaves broke off too. He's coming. There's his trail right there. He's going right through there. We're gonna walk around, and I don't want to touch anything, get my scent on it, mess him up. But anyhow, my entire life has been surrounded by this high strangeness. When I was young, very young, my mother and father and myself were coming back from Atlanta, Georgia, going to Montgomery, Alabama, on the old Montgomery Highway. And a craft came over the top of the car, and the car, it just stalled out, it died. Lights went off, everything went off, and I was in the back seat, and this thing, it did not land in which you would assume a flying craft would land. It didn't land like that. it was right above the car, really close. It burned all the paint off the hood, the roof, and the trunk. I don't remember what type car. It seemed like it was a Galaxy, an old Ford Galaxy or something like that. It was a four-door, but the heat or whatever was emanating from the bottom of the craft, it smoked the paint on the car. Another rub and a scrape. But anyhow, I was trying to hide up in the floorboard, and I was young. I laid down in the floorboard, and when we traveled, back then there were no seatbelt laws. So when we would be on the road traveling, which we did a lot, me and my sister would climb down in the back seats in the floorboard, and we would lay there until we fell asleep. You can look under the seat, see our parents' feet. And I remember when that craft, it happened twice. I don't know which time that this particular event happened, but we went through pretty much the same scenario 2 different times. And my biological father confirmed it to me. I thought it was only one time because I remember once. And he said, yes, that did happen. It happened to us twice. And he confirmed it the year before he passed away. But the light was, sorry about that, it's my stomach. The light had penetrated everything. And I remember laying in the floorboard looking under the seat. It was normally dark. You can see a little bit of light where my mother or father's feet would be on the floor driving the car. But when that craft came over and the car came to a stop, I was looking under the seat and I could see the bottom of the seat cushion, like looking up. Everything was engulfed in light. There were no shadows anywhere in the car. So all the areas that were normally very dark were just filled with light. It was almost like it was water, and it was poured in the car. I mean, every nook and cranny under the seats was lit up. Everything was lit up. It was, to say the least, it was bizarre. But I got up on the seat and I seen all of these little, what looked like kids. And they were coming closer to the car, but they were all around the car. And there were, I don't know, there were 20, 30 of them. I don't know how many, but there were a bunch of them. And they were all the same height. And I knew something wasn't right. You could feel it. You could sense it, that they weren't just children. The light was all around them too. So they were not lit up. They were silhouetted, but it was very easy to see them. Had this bright light coming from behind them, and I did not look behind the car. I don't know if they were behind us or not, but they were on both sides of the vehicle and in front of it. But anyhow, according to my biological father, oh, that hurt. He believes that we were taken and returned, and it happened twice. They ended up back in the car, and there were some issues with, I think, my mom's, I don't remember. It was her shirt was on inside out or something. Something was off with her shirt or her bra, I don't remember. I just remember Pop was telling me about it, and Anyhow, my entire childhood after that event, as I'm growing older, coming through adolescence, everywhere we lived, we dealt with what I assumed was paranormal, poltergeist type stuff. When I hit 6th grade, 7th grade, somewhere right up in there, is when I found out that I could move small items without touching them, mainly marbles and pencils. And at the time, I thought that everybody did that. I thought it was a normal thing that people did, because it's been that way since I was very young, and that's all I remember, was being able to move stuff. And I was on restriction a lot because of my grades. I was always getting in trouble at school, and so I would be put on restriction. I couldn't leave the house, so I'd stay in my room. And I had marbles. My grandfather, he retired from Pillsbury, and part of the stuff, a lot of the things that they were, I think he was a salesman for something with Pillsbury. But when they would go and visit people, they go to people's homes, they would hand them these little things we call crickets, a little metal thing, and you just pop it. We called it a cricket. Really fun little toy when, back during our time. But there were also marbles. He had thousands and thousands of marbles, and so I had several hundred marbles. The big shooter marbles, the cat's eyes, the swirls. I had all the different marbles, and the clay marbles. I loved them. But when I would be on restriction, which was about every other 2 or 3 weeks, I would be in my room and I'd set my marbles on my dresser, and I would push my finger up, where the marble's sitting here. I would push my finger and I'd get about that far from the marble, and I would stop. And if you ever done that little trick where you hold your fingers out in front of you like this, and you look at your fingers, but you try to look past them, like gaze at them, then a little finger will grow in between them, and it's like you're seeing the end of each finger, but it appears to make a little finger in the middle. I would get my finger close to the marble, and I would kind of stare past it, and I would imagine that my finger would start growing, and it would grow, that whatever the gap was between my finger and that marble, I would imagine my finger grows until that gap's filled, and then it touches the marble, and then I just push my finger real gently and the marble would roll. And I did it with pencils, any small thing like that. The little Hot Wheels cars, and I never hid it from nobody. I never thought it was special. I didn't think nothing of it. I thought everybody did it. And in school, sitting, our desk had a little groove carved out at the top part of your desk, and that's where your pencil sat. And we get done with a test, and I was always really good on my tests. I did really well. My problem was I did not agree with doing homework. When I was out of school, I was on my time, and that's the way I seen it. Well, I'd finish my test, turn my test sheet upside down on the table, and I would lay my pencil on the desk, and I'd lay my fingers on the desk just to where the pencil is resting across my 2 fingertips. And I would do the same thing. I would imagine that my fingers are growing, and I would roll the pencil up a few inches from my fingertips, and then I could just move my hand up and down the desk, and the pencil would roll with it without me touching it. Well, fast forward to around 2015, 2016, I was watching a video on YouTube by L.A. Marzulli, and he was talking about the situation with people being abducted. And he started talking about, the visitors coming into your home, pulling you through the walls and windows, and without breaking them, you just kind of go through them. I've experienced all of that, and I always thought it was just a dream. And then he started talking about implants. And I'm going to come back to the implant thing. I'm just going to jump ahead right here. After he was mentioning the implants and all this other stuff, then he said that he believes these alien creatures are demons. They're demonic. They're doing the bidding of the devil. And once you get something happens, and the way he worded it, I received it as though he was saying you had demonic gifts. And I got to worrying about my soul and not being able to be saved now because of what them things done to me. And anyhow, it scared me really bad, and I quit looking into that whole abduction thing. I backed away from it permanently. All right, we'll go back to the implants. My mother died when I was 20 or 21, I don't remember. I was in my early 20s, and then a few years later my father died. But I was a teenager, and I was a professional skateboarder, and that's all I did. I broke hundreds of bones, and I'm not exaggerating when I say hundreds. When I went through my hearings with workers' comp, they pulled my medical history, and in just Bay County, Florida alone, they had 207 hospital reports on me with broken bones. I didn't always go. Broken fingers and ribs, I didn't always go, because there ain't nothing they can really do about that. But the ones I had to go, getting my arms set, getting hands set, when I crushed my fingers, and just all the serious ones, I had 207 different reports. Or 100, I'm sorry, not 207, 107 hospital reports. All right. Now, my bones are fragile compared to most people. I've got a bone disorder, and it's just something that is common with African Americans and Native Americans, and I've got it. Well, I don't remember. Oh, I broke my hand. I broke it across here, and then I broke my wrist like a Y, and it was pretty serious. Went to the hospital. They were x-raying my hand to see if I needed surgery, and you have two bones in your forearm. One of the two bones, I have a section that's 1 inch long, and it's solid. The doctors that came in, they wanted to do exploratory surgery. And the reason, they asked me if I'd broke that arm right there before. And at the time, I had not broken my left arm. And I said no, and Mama told him no. And he said, has he had surgery and had a bone work done? And she said no. Well, they showed us the x-ray. There's a section of one of my bones in my arm, 1 inch long. And he said, that is either solid bone or it is some type of metal. There's no marrow going through it. And he said, medically speaking, it is impossible for that bone to be alive because blood flows through the marrow. When you lose blood flow in the marrow of your bone, the bone dies. And he said there is no marrow, there is no blood flow. The middle of that bone, that section, is solid. And they wanted to do exploratory surgery because they've never seen that before. The bone was healthy. I'm going to break this limb off. And it stinks. It smells like body odor. But anyhow, one of the doctors that came in believes that it may be an implant. He said, we've seen implants like that. And I said, like pacemakers? He said, similar, but they put in the bone. And it's just not something that North America is capable of. Our technology, the medical field isn't that far advanced, and they don't know what it is. They've seen it before. He did not say alien implants. He just said implant. I'm trying to find my camera, you guys. But anyhow, with all of that that's happened to me, and I'm circling back around. I've had several people reach out to me, and they believe the reason I have so much issue with the big guys, the Sasquatch, there's a rub right there. They think, and this has been several people that have reached out to me, they believe that when we went through the event with the aliens and the craft, we went through it twice, that my father could remember. He said it may have happened more than that, but I clearly remember 2 times. And both times were on the old Atlanta highway that runs from Atlanta, Georgia to Montgomery, Alabama. Both times it happened on there. Oh, that camera's right here. Oh, there it is. There it is. I see it. Thank you, Lord Jesus. But anyhow, there may be some truth to that as far as maybe going through the abduction, they put something in me that these creatures are drawn to. I don't know. I don't have any answers. I have more questions than anything. So I don't know. I don't know where to even go with that. But it's just something, I just wanted to share that with you. That's all. Trying to get this stubborn memory card out. Oh, Lord have mercy. There it goes. Got it. All right. Let me, I'm going to check this camera right quick. Let's see what we got on it. And I'll be right back with you, so stand by just a second. Alright, you guys, I took this camera down. I'm going to move it over here where these rubs are. I may just carry it with me back to the truck. Let me remove where I've got it in the map. Okay, I deleted that camera. We're going to go down here and check the Woe Sports camera. Let's see. There's deer poop, deer droppings. Oh, I guess I need this to figure out where the blind is. It's this way. Should be right straight through here. There are some big scrapes over by the blind. There's one of them 5 yards from the front of the blind. I sat in here last night and that buck started coming in. But then he went around me. He went down to the side of me and went down toward the creek. So I did not get to see him. I heard him. And he was sure enough making some noise. They're rutting right now. So when they come through, they're not being sneaky. They're just plowing through. The blind is right over there. That buck came through right back here. I didn't get nothing on that camera that I just checked. I got it in my back pocket. That buck, I was sitting right there in the blind, right there in front of us. Oh, he's got a scrape right here. With that. Oh, crud, I got a thorn from that one. Ooh, that hurt. Golly, that got me good. That buck come through right here. Somewhere right here, or right there. Came in behind me, I was in the blind. And he went over here to the left, and he kept all that stuff between me and him. So I'm gonna put this on one of these other scrapes over here. Yeah, I was sitting right there. I'm gonna check this scrape and check this camera. One of the things that I do, a lot of people don't agree with it, but I do. I will actually go and I will pee in a buck scrape. Bucks pee in it. But I will pee in it, and when the buck will come up, and they are mad when you do that. All you do is pee a little bit, a few drops. You don't really flood it. But the buck comes in, and in his mind, it's another buck marking his territory, and they get really, really mad. I'm going to take a walk here in just a second, right behind me, and go check them other scrapes and them rubs. Alrighty, I'm not gonna walk in front of the camera. It's aiming at that big scrape right there. I'm gonna walk over here and go behind it, walk the path that deer took, go down to the creek, and then we're gonna head back to the truck. I'm gonna walk down the creek edge. He come through right here. Oh, this is a trail. Yep, comes right through there. That's where them rubs are at. This is somewhere in here is where that buck went. This was yesterday evening. I was sitting in the blind. He's got some more rubs right over here. Last year he had some scrapes somewhere up in here in these little pines. Oh, there it is. You know, he's rubbing that magnolia tree again. He broke that one last year, that little magnolia. The blind's right up through there. You can't even see this. He rubbed that magnolia last year. He's rubbing that again. He's got a scrape right here. He's pawed it a little bit. There's another scrape over here somewhere. I'm not going to put the camera, this other camera, I'm not going to put it up over there. buck traveled somewhere right down here. I could hear him, I just couldn't see him. They've been crossing the creek right over here. I'd love to put up a stand over here somewhere. Because there's several little bucks coming through right here. That's another scrape right there, but he hasn't hit that in a little while. And the creek is right there, just right 50 yards down. He walked through it, but he didn't haul it up. But we're going to go down the creek edge. Probably shouldn't do that by myself, but it is what it is. Dadgummit, another thorn. I keep dragging my hand across these briars, trying to hold the butt of my muzzleloader so I don't get it scratched up and it catches these briars. Make sure I don't have my trace running. Okay. It is not running. It is not running now. The Florida Trail is right here. This is it. It crosses the culvert right there at Camp Carey Arnold. There's a tree down up here, so I'm going to have to bring my tractor down in here and redefine the Florida Trail. It's hunting season, so we don't go riding around up here. Already getting creeped out. Gotta get this tree out of the way. We're going to change I've got some culvert pipe that Chris got from a landowner. He's got a friend that owns a lot of land. Thousands of acres, I'd imagine, but one of his properties has a swamp that kind of cuts the property in half. Years ago, he sold the timber on it, and he had them, while they had their equipment, he had them put some culverts in for him, which they did. Well, the flood 7 or 8 years ago, we had a bad flood that came. A lot of rain. What's that? It's a plywood. I don't know where that came from. More stuff to haul off. But anyway, the flood came, filled the swamp up, and it actually washed the road out that I went across, the bridge that went across the swamp. And so he hired a crew to come in. They pulled the old plastic culverts out, and he had some big concrete culverts put in. And he hired a crew to come in, and they poured some type of rock over it and built a base around it. And they set it up to where it cannot wash out. And the culverts had just been sitting there, and Chris asked him about them, and he got a heck of a deal on them. And he gave me 2 of them, which is all I need is 2. But I really don't want to. I hate this section right here, because it puts me right there next to the creek. Camp Carey is right down there, a couple hundred yards. There's the rain. Guys, if anyone sees anything in this video that I missed or I didn't mention, please let me know. You can actually post stuff in the comments about that now. My brother Don Moore's, he's keeping an eye on them. He can't keep track with all of them, quite obviously. There's a lot of comments, but he does his best. When he has time, he will check them for me. And if he sees something, an important comment or an informative comment, he'll either take a screenshot and send it to me, or he'll call me and let me know. But I get a lot of information through him. He's a tremendous help. Having people like that in your life sure helps. Makes life a lot easier. Having good people that you can trust. Good, loving, honest people. And our brother Don is one of them. 100%. I want to see, they've been scraping right here. This big buck has last year. I got a blind right there. See if he's working down here again. It does not look like it. Last year he had all this scraped out. It was dug out where he was scraping on that tree line. And he had another one right up here behind this holly. Yeah, scrape right there. On the ground. I don't see any more scrapes right here. Making our way back to the truck. Oh boy, something stinks. That smells like buck urine. I guess they come out of the creek. They got a trail right here. There's another one that comes through over here and it crosses at an angle. And we had a camera on it. We got a bunch of deer, but everything that we got was does. Got a scrape right here. Right up under that little bush. Guess these bucks that are crossing the creek. They got a big game trail right there in that corner. There's another scrape. Right there. And then okay. I'm gonna start to sprinkle a little harder. bunch of humans in there. For sure. It's like a deer took off right there. The only thing I don't like about muzzle loaders is you gotta be careful how you hold them when it's raining so you don't get water down your barrel. It will work its way past your bullet and get into your powder. You don't want fire. Then you got to disassemble it and push the bullet and the powder out and clean it so that you can reload it and start over. Ooh, dog innards. Ooh, I'm sweating. Hey guys, before I forget again, I forget everything. My brother Lee is going through some stuff. He's dealing with from my understanding, crooked law enforcement, and he's trying to fight it, but without an attorney and being able to afford an attorney is very difficult. They did an illegal seizure of his firearms and some other things, and they're trying to nail him. He's not a convict, hasn't done anything wrong, but you know the world that we live in. So please pray for Brother Lee. I don't know if I have permission to give his last name. If so, I will do an update video and give you his first and last name. Well, his first name's Lee. Guys, I'm gonna cool down a bit and decide where I'm gonna hunt. This rain's supposed to be set in once it starts. It's coming from that way, you can see it, the dark sky. Oh, there's the pipes. We got it. Why do I only see one? Oh, there's the other one. Yeah, those are the pipes. They're 38-inch diameter. You can squat down and crawl through that pipe very easily. But if you're going to stick with me, I'll see you here shortly. I'm going to get in the truck and make a decision on where I'm going to set this afternoon. Stand by.